Hi everyone, and welcome back to this video. So as you can tell from the title and the thumbnail, I need to get some of my yarn chaos under control again. So it's just kind of like a little portion of it, of a couple of projects that I've been working on. So I am going to grab some of the stuff. You see it in the thumbnail, kind of, it's just a hodgepodge of yarn right now. I'm going to start off with winding up some of the yarn that needs to be wound up again, and then I'll move on from there. Okay, slight change in angle so that I can do this and also watch stuff. And we're starting off with this white yarn. As you can see, I'm starting off with, oh god, what am I holding? I don't even know anymore. I had been using this for a star blanket that I'm working on, and it just got to a point where I was ready to move on to another color. So if I can find one end, I'll be okay. So I just have to find an end, and that's okay. I don't know if I can find an end. Like, the part of the issue was that, like, I just kind of set it aside with the intent to wind it back up once I was ready to wind it with the bigger yarn, but then that just never happened, and now we have like spider webs. So I'm just aimlessly trying to find an end. Okay, let's see, maybe if I just pull, I don't want to pull that way. Okay, so this is gonna be fun, but I'll check back in with you in a little bit to let you know where I'm at. Or maybe I found an end. I don't know. I know there's a knot somewhere, so maybe that was that one. Okay. I'm trying to keep it, when I pull it to the side, I'm trying to keep it organized to the other side to make it a little bit easier to pull out once it's... Okay, this is the only way we're gonna do this apparently. And I decided to do this at 8 o'clock, so we're having some fun times. I'll check back in with you all in a little bit. Okay, so what I had done was I decided to cut a part of it just to get it going, and then I guess I was in the middle of it and it just kept going. I thought I was gonna get to an end that I'd done over there, but I guess I don't really have an end over there, so yeah. This is what we're dealing with. I'm watching Nailed It as well, the holidays, and yeah, this is just what it is right now, and I'm probably going to make another cut, just because that's what's going to make it easiest, I think. So, yeah. We'll see how much of this I actually take you along with, and if I just decide to cut this video short, and we'll see. Okay, so I have made a little bit more progress. I am having to hold this down when I'm doing it because the securing part fell down in a place where I can't reach, and I'm not going to try to. I mean, I can't reach it, it'll just take some time, but I'm not going to do that right now at 8 o'clock. So, or I guess now it's like 8:15. It's still not going to do that. So I'm trying to wind this up, so I might do another little, is that where an end is? Oh my god, I think that's where an end is. So I don't know if there's another end somewhere in here. So this, I have to hold it down or else it does not like me. I just found an end. I just found an end. I don't think it's an end. I mean, it might be an end that I made, that I cut from something. I don't know. I found an end. We'll see how far this gets me. This might be one of the ends that I made, and then I need to find another end. Yeah, I think that was one of the ends that I made. So we'll figure something out. I did find in that side piece I had set away, I did find another end. So I'm just going to tie it. And I do fix these up, guys. It's just when I'm winding it up and I'm trying to keep it all in. If it's all the same color, I do try to keep it all together. And for me, when it's this size yarn, I don't really care about knots. So it is what it is. As long as it's secure enough. So I am getting very close to the end of this set of yarn. I'm trying to untangle it and I'm trying to set it aside. When I'm untangling, I'm trying to set it aside, like I said, in a way that makes it easier for it to wind up. I have no idea where the end is, but that's okay. It might be in here. So yeah, part of the reason also why I wanted to do this video is to show that, like, yarn, ooh, something's on my eye. 1 second. Anyway, we're good. So like I was saying, the main reason why I wanted to do this was to kind of show that it's not always pretty neat doing yarn crafts, doing crochet, knitting. It's not always nitty or neat. It's not always neat and pretty. Sometimes it's a little bit chaotic. And that is a-okay, because, you know, life is a little bit chaotic. Okay, we're getting there. We are getting there. There we are. Okay, I'm gonna start doing this again. But when I do this, I try to make it easier on myself to wind it up, so that it can be as smooth as possible, because I want to try to get as few kinks as possible. There we go. We're done. I want to get as few kinks as possible, and I don't want to have to keep going back and forth. Okay, there we go. Or not. I don't want to have to keep going back and forth to try to fix one mistake. So it's like I try to keep it as smooth as possible. And if there is a mistake, I try to catch it soon. Sometimes it's hard. Okay. I'm going to try to do a center from this. Okay, let's see where it is. The thing is, okay, so I have no idea. That's the center, I think. Okay, here's the center. I'm gonna set that over there. Oh boy. This is also part of the reason why I don't like doing big things of yarn, but at the same time, I kind of like keeping the same color all together. The same color and type of yarn, I like keeping it all together, because then it's easier to know, like, what's what. And it's easier to know, like, if you have like 5 different white yarns and they're all basically the same shade of white, it's easier to know what brand is what, because sometimes the feel is different. So we are going to try to get through this big thing as smoothly as possible. It shouldn't take too long, and then this is going to be huge, so I might cut it off at some point and then do a smaller one. We'll see. I don't know right now, but we're just going for it. And something I do, I'm going to slow this down for a minute. Something I do is, let me stop it. There is a thing on the side here that you can use to guide your yarn. I don't know, it's just tension wise, I think I just find it a little bit easier to guide it if I hold it. And this is pretty stable even without the little screw thing to hold it to your not your laptop, to hold it to your desk or a table. I wouldn't recommend doing this unscrewed, unsupervised, just because it's like you don't want it to fall over. But it, like, I don't have to hold it down. I'm not holding it down right now, and I can go up to full speed. Now, if it starts knocking over a little bit, like if it starts hitting the little side piece over here, it might lose its balance. But overall, it is pretty stable. I don't recommend leaving this unsupervised if you can't find your stabilizer piece. Okay, so I have decided, hold this down. I have decided to do it into 2 parts. So I did cut it, and now we're just going to continue with the rest of it. It did fall onto the ground, but my floor is pretty clean, so I'm not super worried about that. And sometimes what I'll do is just kind of get it onto this base pole part, is I will hold it a little bit closer to this part before I put it into here. So just kind of got it, because sometimes it's too high or too low, and doing that helps it keep a little bit, it helps it keep it a little bit more centered, so that it doesn't end up super wonky. So we'll just, there we go. Okay, so I now have the second one made and wound up, caked up. I'm gonna set the, unplug it. Okay, so I have them both caked up now. I need to put them in my little thing. Now I just need to organize some of the granny squares I have and kind of get them back together into a neat stack. We'll figure out where I'm going to be putting them. It's kind of a crochet project, slightly on hold. I'm doing another granny square blanket, and it's going to be smaller than the ones I've done in the past because it's for a little boy. But I like making granny square blankets because I do think they're a lot easier than the straight row blankets, but at the same time I'm like, I keep crashing out with blankets. So one moment. Okay, so I have all of the granny squares. I just need to stack them. I did have them in the order that I had made them, but at this point it's just stacking them in the same way. So like the back end where the tail is, center tail, and then top end where top tail is. So you can see there, top tail, top tail. At this point, that's what it's going to be. And also too, when I get around to weaving the blanket together, they're not going to be in the same position. So I'm going to be changing it around a little bit because it is multicolored, and just to make sure that it's, I mean, you have basically like 3 colors here, 3, 4, 3.5, 4 colors. So I'm just gonna, I am gonna get some slight color, some colors next to each other that's the same, some granny squares next to each other that are the same color, but I'm hoping to break it up a little bit. But I'm gonna do that once I have all the squares for this blanket done. And then I have this last one that I started. Oh shit, okay, let me get a stitch marker in this actually. I'm just grabbing the first one I can. Okay. And then once I'm done with this granny square, I am gonna wind up this yarn again to make it a little bit easier. It's just when it's a big cake, and once you start like getting to the center part, it gets a little bit harder to keep it in a nice cake shape. So there's that, and oh, I should put that away. I'm gonna keep this out because I'm still working on this. It's still a work in progress. I am gonna be getting to this soon because I told Mama that I told the mama this is gonna be for a boy. I didn't give myself a deadline for this. When I tell people I'm making them look like it, I never give myself a deadline. So logic. I'm gonna set this aside. There's one other piece I don't need to worry about that now, just because I got the 2 big things organized, and that is now separate from it. Okay, and I just need I have this dolphin. This isn't a dolphin. It's a seahorse. It was the first seahorse I made. It's a little bit wonky. I've not made the front pouch yet, but I'm going to put the yarn away. Oh my gosh, I also have this yarn. Okay. I'm going to put the yarn away just because right now I'm not doing anything with it. So I also have this yarn. I'm going to put that away. I'm not going to bother winding that up. 1 second. I probably should rewind this, but recake it. That's going to be a later Shanna problem. Right now I just need to get it away from the wires. Okay, I have too many wires on my desk. What's this? Oh. No idea what that's for. Okay. Okay, there's that. There's that. Okay, we're getting there. Okay. Okay, so what had happened was it was like this, and it stuck between those two. Stuck in that. There we go. Okay. Oh, we were so close. Okay, there we go. So again, this will just be a later Shanna problem. So that is going to be the end of this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.